Good morning.
Morning.
How'd you do? Did you cut your fabric?
No.
No. Nice.
But I did it on, I don't know, years ago it was called Swiss something paper, but it's old and it kind of got a little crispy, kind of like.
Yeah.
So I had
And you sewed it. You were able to sew it?
I was able to sew it. And this is the new stuff called Pattern Ease.
Oh, nice.
And it really drapes nice. But I didn't realize, I thought I bought 4 yards. I only bought a yard. So I had to do that first before I would do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out, my body is really not what it should be. It fits in through here, but I have scoliosis and I have to have more room over on this side. So I'm thinking of making the sides, because this part's fine, but this doesn't go around to the underarm to go under because my rib cage is kind of skewed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm going to have a challenge because I didn't realize how ill proportioned I am. But then I have to account for my rounded back. So yeah, I'm gonna work on it.
Okay. Well, I think it's doable. Do you still feel like it's doable?
Oh yeah. Hell or high water, it's gonna get done. I may not wear it.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome determination. Good morning, Dara. Here comes Casey. Good morning,
She's muted.
Suzette. Hi, everyone. All right. How's everybody doing? Wonderful. Okay. So Elaine, do you want to just give, I think everyone came in kind of mid update for you. Do you just want to update everybody where you are with yours and then?
Oh, okay. Maybe Casey could help me with some of it.
Yeah, she might.
And between the breasts, it fits fine. But I have scoliosis and the rib cage on my right side is much bigger. So I'm going to have to add about this much onto it. I had to add on to the shoulder and it's still not enough because of my rounded back. So I'm going to have to add about that much to it. And I think what I need is a program where they do physically challenged patterns, you know, where they, because other people have to have some problems too of some sort. But it fits here. My apex is where it should be. But my sides, I have a really big area there that when you wear knit tops and don't wear dresses, you don't realize it. So I would never have side seams and the zipper would have never met. So I'm going to work on it and see what I can do.
Casey, do you think it's an option to like put in knit panels or something that would have stretch?
Right, you could do that. One question I would ask first, Elaine, is have you done an adjustment on the back center seam to account for the, I'm assuming you have some roundness on your back side. So did you split the pattern and open that up?
Where is it? I don't have it with me. No, I hadn't done it, but I figured I'm going to have to put quite a bit of amount into it. But I also realized that the roundness only comes so far. So it's up on top that I'm going to really have to get the length. And then I have to remember to extend the shoulders in the back. Yeah, because they won't meet right.
Yeah, the first thing I would do is try and correct for the roundness in your back, and you may need to do more than one. When I do it, I make a cut to the arm, either to the armhole seam or even maybe a little bit, you know, maybe 2 of them, and then I spread it. So kind of
Okay.
like I cut in, say this is your center back.
Mm-hmm.
I cut in here and hinge it. I cut this way, and then this little part is still together. And you open it like this. That makes
Okay.
that back seam longer and accounts for the roundness. And you do it wherever you are round. So
Okay.
obviously,
Oh,
up
yeah, it
to
would
where
be
your
up here.
roundness starts, you're straight. And then I would do 1 or 2 of those spreads, and that gives you that extra fabric you need. And you actually might not need to do anything with the shoulders once you do that.
Oh, okay. I will try that. This is called, Casey, do you remember it was called Swiss pattern?
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
I've had it a long time and it gets crispy. It
Oh.
ages. So,
Uh-huh.
but it turned out okay, that part. And I got this is called Patternese.
Yes, that works too.
And I thought I had 4 yards, but I only have a yard of it. And it's $4 a yard, so I'm going to have to get more of that, but I have to send away for it though.
Yeah, so what I would do is I would just do the bodice in the Patternese, because that's where your biggest, that's where you get the most stress and you're going to need the most flexibility. I wouldn't worry about necessarily doing the bottom part of the skirt, the skirt in the Patternese. You can do it later on once you know it's a pattern you like and you want to do multiple times.
Uh-huh.
I would just get started with doing the bodice in the Patternese.
And I think if I would have done it knit, it would have helped a bit too, because the woven, it's not going to have the ease that I'm going to need.
Mm.
But I'm having fun. I didn't go to sleep last night. I stayed up all night.
Oh, that is a sign of true inspiration.
Well, hey,
So
in college, I could do an all-nighter any time of the week, 2 in a row.
The real question is, did you remember to feed your husband?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Casey, I just want to make sure I understand what you just explained. So this is the back of mine.
Mhm.
So you're suggesting at the curve that you come in this way and then open that up?
Yeah, so usually for folks who have it like just right here near the top, you go down about an inch, 1.5 inches, and you just slice the pattern over to the arm size, and you do a little bit on the other side so that it hinges. And then you can insert more pattern underneath that. You do it based on a measurement. So, Elaine, you can measure hopefully your husband is helpful in this way. Mine is wonderful about this. I say, put it here and here, and they'll tell me what the number is. And he's very good about it.
Okay.
So then you can compare that kind of to your back pattern, and you'll see how much you need to add in. And as I said, some folks, depending on how the round is, you may be able to just do 1 if it's just up here high, or you may have to do it, like 2. But
Oh.
I think you could find pictures on this if you were to Google. I think it's high round back or something like that, pattern adjustment.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
When I have a suggestion, when you're looking at using things like Patternese and the Swiss paper, I use Wilton Wedding Runner.
That's what I'm using.
Yeah, which is so much cheaper.
Oh,
You can't press it because it'll melt, but you get 100 feet,
oh my gosh.
and it's, use your 50% off coupon at the party store.
And at Joann's, they had a roll on clearance for $15.
That's about what I usually pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And mine has a pretty pattern on it. I just thought.
And it's
I got
usually, I think it's like 4 feet wide, so it's great for reproducing patterns that you're going to use over and over again, and for fitting stuff too. It doesn't have any stretch.
Yeah.
But when you're fitting a
Uh-huh.
bodice, you don't really need the stretch. That'll just throw you off anyway.
the Swiss paper wasn't wide enough, so I even had to piece that in order to cut the bodice out. It was like a Rolling Stone, one problem after another.
It kept you up all night. You're going to need a nap.
Right now?
This,
How's Suzette do?
oh,
Everyone says that. You can do it.
Yeah, I made one in 2 different sizes because I didn't know for sure if the first one was small. But I redid this smaller one a few times, but the front is longer than the back, and I quadruple checked to make sure my pattern pieces were right. But on the larger size, everything matches up. So I don't know what I did. And then I'm not sure about if it's my sewing of the darts or if this really isn't the right size.
Oh,
Okay.
It looks to fit, does it?
So one thing I would say is that the side darts are kind of pointing up and not at your apex.
Let's see. Turn sideways.
Yeah, they are up.
They seem a little high.
Yeah, they're a little high.
pull your bra up.
But if I made those, so they need to go more this way.
Right.
Do
And
you
then,
think-
And that,
do you think this is the right size though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think you're pretty close.
The waist dart might need to come down a little.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Those are pretty high too.
yeah, so just shorten it. Don't,
Like-
so on, the dart has a kind of a center line, like where it folds.
Uh-huh.
Follow, just go down, probably, I don't know, maybe an inch on that, yeah, an inch down on that fold. Put a mark, and that'll be your new dart point. And you'll just
Okay,
make it
and
shorter.
then how do I make this one go where it's supposed to go?
Just like she said.
You move the point down so that it's in line with your apex, and that's your new dart. So just, if your dart point's up here, you just kind of move down an inch or so it's pointing at your apex, and then make your new dart from there. That, because you don't really need it on the side, it doesn't need to go up and down. Sometimes you do have to move it all the way down, but this, I think you can just swivel it and you should be okay.
Won't she have to take the stitching out of the dart to redo the dart?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. I'm sorry, I assumed that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let me just show you this. This one I think might be a little bit too big.
It gaps there, yeah.
Yeah, that it starts gapping on the sides of, and the armhole then is,
Yeah. Okay, so you think the first one is good as long as I fix the dart?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you
Was
sew
that
by,
the one that was misaligned, Suzette?
What's that?
Was that the one that was misaligned in the front and the
Yeah.
back? And you
And I
don't
cut
know
out
why?
another one this morning, the exact same size, and it turned out the same way. I don't know why the front is longer than the back.
Any ideas?
I'd have to look at the pattern to see if there's
But
something.
on the bigger size, everything lines up.
You know, you probably didn't follow the same line.
I did it all over again this morning. But you see,
Hmm.
Oh my.
That's
Oh,
a
that's
big
drastic.
difference.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know what that is. I took this apart. I cut out a whole new one. Made sure I had the right measurements and I wasn't mixing up the 2 sizes. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
Suzette, what size did you cut out?
The first one is the 16. I went 2 sizes higher than what I normally wear, like Andrea did.
So Andrea, you cut out the 14. Did you have any misalignment like that?
No, I was pleasantly surprised that my sides came together.
I don't know, I'm just gonna have to do it again.
Could it have been something with the printing? Is there any chance that like the
Oh.
paper shifted or anything? Or
Because the larger size came out okay. I don't
It's-
know.
And you.
oh, and
you-
it's cut from the same pieces. Yeah. Hmm.
I
So
don't know.
the sides have to align, right, for the skirt to go on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Without
Well,
seeing the
I'm
pattern,
I'm gonna make this other one that I cut out, but I put it up to pattern piece. I double checked everything, so. I don't
so
know.
what I might do at this point is, which one hits you at the waist better, the front or the back?
The front.
The front. So I would cut the back one to fit with the one that fits you at the waist. And I would just cut off that extra.
And let me hold up my actual pattern pieces and you hold up yours and let's
Mhm.
see where the variation actually is.
Just to see if it's gonna work.
Oh, she did already. Thanks.
Okay, so this is D, my back, and this is my front. Okay, so, oh, I guess you can't really tell because of the way the,
Dart is. So what I would do is
Yeah,
I would
the other
pin out the dart on your pattern and then match the side seams to see how it fits, see if they match up.
Yeah, I did all that this morning, but I cut out a whole new one. I'm gonna do that again. I know it's the right sizes. I'll see what I did wrong.
here, I'll pin my dart so we can just have a visual. Okay, so there's my pinned front, and then here's my side.
Yeah, they
close.
do. They match.
Yeah, my pinning's a little sloppy, but they would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they match.
That's close enough to just get it, make sure you're in the ballpark, yeah.
So
Mhm.
after you adjust your darts, Suzette, then that's when she should trim though, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna make a whole new one of this size before I do anything else.
At least you haven't cut your good fabric yet.
I bought a lot extra because I know I'm gonna mess something up.
I did too. Okay, are you sewing, Dara?
Yeah.
How
Oh,
far along are you?
So I actually, I was pretty confident that the fit was going to be okay. So I just went ahead to my regular fabric.
Nice.
And I didn't like how bare it was on the front because I picked a solid color. I usually wear prints and it just looked too bare. So I put a patch pocket on.
Oh, how cute.
You see that?
That's adorable.
And then I did my little tulip sleeve and it actually worked and it fits the way I want it to. And it, you know, there's not so much flapping going on if I move my arms. And
It's really pretty.
I wound up doing a bias finish on it instead of hemming it because I hate hemming a curve. Bias is so much easier. And since I'm doing, it's denim, I'm top stitching. So
yeah.
that gave me some like fullness there to top stitch on. But I made one mistake. I was so busy doing my sleeves that I forgot to lay the left side differently than the right side so that they would look the same. But I didn't change it because I figure I'm the only one who's ever going to notice. That
Oh, you're right.
one goes forward and one goes back.
Other
Essentially, they're the same
way.
sleeve. It just looks a little different where they overlap.
It's a design element.
Yes, exactly. It's
That's how
a
you'll know
mistake.
it's your dress and not a knockoff.
And then once I get the zipper in, I'm going to top stitch the neckline. So I chalked in to see where my top stitching will go. And then since I was bored, I made my belt already.
Oh, how fun. Can we see? Oh,
I
pretty.
top stitched that as well. Can't really see on the computer. There you go.
Yeah.
So I top stitched it. And then I still had plenty of time. So I made my matching mask
Oh.
Cute.
and top stitched that. And I bought the little, I don't know if anybody bought these. They're the little adjustable nubs
Yeah.
that come on the store-bought masks. You can buy like 200 of them, cost me under $10.
What do you call them? Do you know?
They're calling them cord locks, but they don't have a mechanism to lock. It's really just a piece of silicone or rubber that works against the elastic.
Oh.
Very
So
nice.
what kind
Could
did
we
you-
could
did
we
you-
see your facing, like a look at the facing on the inside, because we haven't gotten to that step yet. So you
Wow.
serged yours then?
I serged the bottom edge of it. And I did have to make some adjustments. The bodice was, the pattern was too full under the arm. So I had to take out a good 3/8 of an inch on the front and the back and taper it down into the rest of the seam. So I did the same thing on the facing. When a lot of times instead of making a muslin, if I'm close on the fit, I'll just work on my fabric and then I cut the sliver off the front when I decided where I wanted it. And then I go back and I lay it on the paper pattern piece and draw the new line. So I know exactly what I adjusted. If I want to make it another time, I don't have to
Oh,
think that one through the second
Very
time.
nice. It is.
But I'm a little anxious about this invisible zipper because although I sew a lot, I avoid invisible zippers like the plague. I just have never felt comfortable. You can't get that perfect look. You have to let it have a little space. And other zippers, you put them in so precisely. And if you do that with an invisible zipper, it looks wrong. Like you
Really?
have-
So,
it's the way it goes in.
yeah, I've had pretty good luck with them. And I don't know if anybody goes on Threads, their website. Kenneth, what's his name?
King.
King.
King. He has a video for putting in invisible zippers.
And I've done his, and if the problem for me is if the fabric has any texture or any weight to it, it won't just completely lie perfectly either. It always does better on a really lightweight fabric for me.
Yeah.
So I might be overthinking it, but my daughter who uses them all the time gave me her pointers. She sews in one side and then hand bastes the other side to get seams to line up and then sews it. And I'm thinking that might help me.
Instead of hand basting, I use that double sticky, the thin double sticky tape.
I've tried that and
Oh, well,
haven't had good luck.
basting will work.
Bye.
Dara, would steam seam help with that? Because it's not permanent. You can readjust it.
I don't know on an invisible zipper. I've done that on a traditional zipper,
Uh-huh.
but on the invisibles, I don't want to add anything that makes any
Oh.
bulk to it or shifts it in any way.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
You need an
Available on-
invisible zipper foot. That's what the pattern says. Can you put in an invisible zipper without the invisible zipper foot?
I think the Kenneth King video, he does use a regular foot, doesn't he?
Yeah, a regular
He doesn't
zipper
use a
foot.
special foot.
Okay.
What's the difference? Does anyone know?
It has a space
They're shaped
for the
differently.
teeth to go underneath.
Yeah.
The foot while you're sewing. I looked at all my stuff. I don't have one.
I'll have to look and see if.
I found out what all these other ones were for.
Isn't it amazing? Wouldn't it be fun just to, on a sip and sew or a show and tell, we'll have to explore his feet. Does anyone know what this is?
I looked them all up yesterday.
Oh, we can play a little game too and have prizes if you get the most correct. I'm gonna put that in notes for fun.
Well, I should say I know the names of them. I don't know how to sew with them yet. But,
You really know the names of all of them?
well, I got out my manual yesterday and had to figure out what these feet are. I didn't even realize I had all them for this machine. I've got a bag for each machine. I don't know what they all are.
I have hundreds of feet.
Oh, you win.
No, because I've had so many machines over the years.
Oh.
Yeah. So one time we are going to do guess the foot. Like some kind of bingo game or something. That will be fun for us.
Oh.
I gotta give us some prizes. Okay, Kim, do you have any tips for us with the invisible zippers? Do you work with them?
No, I'm not good at invincible zippers. No.
No.
But Casey has good luck with them. How about you, Elaine?
Years ago, I put one in, and like they said, you have this plastic thing that goes so it rides over it. I don't even know if I have one in my collection.
Mm.
But then we can put a regular zipper in because it doesn't have to be invisible.
That's true. You could do a regular traditional zipper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are the benefits of the invisible versus a regular?
You don't see it.
Yeah,
Right.
the
That
invisible
is?
is
It's not more
invisible.
comfortable or anything?
Right.
It's softer, I think. The whole thing, the tape, the teeth, it's all lighter weight.
Yeah.
So it is more comfortable. Say you were going to take a nap in your dress, you wouldn't feel it against the back of your neck so much. And I also, the older I get, the more I appreciate the pull on the invisible zipper actually kind of stands out of the opening where it is. It's easier to get a hold of. And when you do a traditional center zipper, it's a
It
little
hides.
teeny thing on there.
And it usually is hiding within those laps
Yes.
if you've done it right. And it's like, well, now I got to find that.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, this will be my first invisible zipper ever. Yours too,
Me
Suzette?
too. Mhm.
Well, it definitely works to stabilize it in some way. I do an inch of very light interfacing along the length of where the zipper is going to go. And then I use the double sticky tape, or you could hand baste it like Dara was saying, so that it's in place. So it doesn't, because what happens sometimes is you go down one side, and then when you go to the other side, they don't match up at the top, or they're, especially if you're transversing the waist. That was where it was most frustrating to me. So I actually kind of nail it down at the waist where it crosses, so they're so both sides are matched,
Oh.
and then I work to make sure, because that otherwise you end up with a waistband that it kind of goes like this on the zipper. Like,
Yeah.
there was an earthquake and it shifted.
Where does the zipper come into this process? Is it last?
I don't.
Mm.
Step 11.
Joe, want me to pull up the pattern so we can all look at it?
It's step 11, and there are.
Yeah, I think it comes right before the hem.
Huh, that's unusual. Usually you do the, oops. I usually do it when it's flat before I even do the side seams, just because it's easier. Instead of trying to wrangle the whole dress, I put it in and then start treating the back as if it were a whole.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Suzette and I could wait till the end though, right?
No, yeah, because that's, one of those things I probably create more problems for myself as I'm looking at it. You've got to get the side seams and you've got to get the facing done. So in this case, you'd probably end up doing it last as well.
Okay, that's good news for us. Get some more practice in. Okay, should we try and decide what our next steps are? So Elaine, you're still making your alterations.
Oh,
Dara
yeah.
in the lead, winning the prize, making custom alterations. And Suzette and I are almost at the same spot. Are you going to keep sewing today, Suzette?
yes.
Okay, let's get through all this. Oh, one question I wanted to ask, Dara, did you feel that the sizing was good on this when you went by the measurements? Did you have good luck with the guide?
Well, she took 3/8 out.
Yeah, it was actually a little big for me, but only at the full bust, which is the measurement that you use to determine your size. I also I'm a little under 5'4". I took an inch out vertically of the front and the back to get the waist to be at the right place for me.
Oh.
Okay, so you did have to make some changes then.
Mm-hmm. And based on the pattern, the skirt at the hip and the waist is going to be big on me, but for a summer dress in the heat and the humidity, I don't really want it to be much smaller than that. But you find that in lots of different patterns. It seems like every designer designs for their own body. So if the person who designed the pattern is pear-shaped, then the pattern is generally pear-shaped, the sizing of it. And if they're, more of a triangle or some other shape, that's what you find. So I'm just not shaped like the person that they intended this for, I think.
Me neither.
Me neither.
I won't know until I get mine on.
I bet yours is really going to fit, Andrea.
I sure hope so because I'm wearing it every day.
Put that on. What you made, put it on, Andrea.
On this one, I don't know that I have the sides pinned perfectly because I had tried on that. Here, let me stop screen sharing so you can see me. I had tried on the muslin one and it fit nice. So this one, I didn't measure those pins in the side. So keep that in mind.
It looks like a really nice fabric.
Yeah, I'm thrilled with the print because it's not too, I won't be able to tell where it switches.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's good.
It's, I don't even think you can see the darts, can you?
Not really.
Not in
I
the
mean,
print.
Yeah.
It's a really good idea when you're a beginning garment sewer to use prints, because it hides so much that you would see on a solid color. And I'm sure, like most of us, when you see that you've made a little blip in something, that's all you focus on then. Like you pick up some garment that's hanging in your closet and you'll find lots of mistakes if you look for them.
Oh, yeah.
But, when you've made it yourself, you feel like it's a glaring problem when it's totally not. But prints hide a lot.
Or else you'll tell people about it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Never tell.
That's one good thing about Zoom sewing. You can't see the mistakes.
What an embarrassing conversation to have with a stranger at the grocery store. But do you see this dark? It's only.
I'm just gonna tell people I got it off the sale rack. There's a little couple mistakes.
Okay, no, now what you're going to do when you're buying a dress that's store made, you're going to ask for a discount. But do you see here and here?
Now, every time you make a shirt or a top, do everyone have darts in them?
No.
No.
Knits, not necessarily.
I'm not sure if I like the way the darts look or not.
Well, and it depends on your bust size. If you're a B cup or smaller, lots of patterns you can get away without a dart. But if you're a C cup or larger, it's difficult to get a good fit. So then it's the silhouette that you're choosing. So there are plenty of patterns at the store that have no dart, but then realize that it's going to be a little oversized in other places in order for your shape to fit in what's basically 2 dimensions instead of 3 dimensions without a dart.
And kind of boxy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Andrea,
closer
I went on the website for ADK Patterns, and they have a sewing group. So I signed up and I put down the question about alterations, and maybe somebody, Athena is the administrator and Demetris is the moderator.
How fun. I would love in the end when we get our dresses done to invite them to come to one of our chats and see the dresses that we made.
Well, you know what I did? I
What?
told them that I belonged to your group and that as participants, we chose her pattern, the Lisa dress.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, this is wonderful. I think it would be fun for us to visit with a pattern designer.
We
And
have
you
2,000.
could ask some of these questions like
Yeah.
Dora just said, when you're designing, do you think that you design for your own body type first or, and just see what the methodology is behind that.
They have 2,738 members.
Nice. And now you're were you number 37?
I'm number 39,
You're 39.
2,739.
Okay.
But you
Awesome.
have to be, I had to write a paragraph and I'm waiting to hear if they have accepted me.
Oh, really? You have to
Wow.
audition for this.
Mm.
I
That's
know,
why I put your class in. Sounds good.
and one of the members of my planning community is an actual pattern tester for them. That's how we learned about this.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh.
she raved about the pattern. So far, I'm really happy with it. Are you? You know, the actual pattern and the instructions, it's not overwhelming me yet.
I think because you have a younger body. I mean, it does happen. It changes.
Yeah,
Shift.
but I'm learning an awful lot though for the changes that you all are making to your own patterns, right? Because that's real life.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Wait until you do your daughter's dress. It'll go 1, 2, 3.
yeah, that will be very fun to see her in it.
Who's the tester, Andrea?
I feel like her name is Diane. Is it? She's redoing each segment of the house. Do you remember her name?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
No. Hopefully we'll see her tonight and then we can tell her what we're up to. Yeah, I think it's Diane. I'll go back and look though and find out for us. Okay, so let's take a look at the pattern and then decide what we want to do for next time, for next Tuesday, by next Tuesday. So I got through step 3. Is that where we were supposed to stop? Because I think yesterday, Elaine, you said step 4.
Um,
I think you said to stop before the facing.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, it was 3.
okay. So any tips for us when we start cutting and sewing the facing? How is the facing attached to the inside? Was I supposed to sew that in the shoulder seams?
No, it's going to be attached at the underarm, like at the arm side, completely around is where.
Okay.
You have
Okay,
to kind
so-
of pay attention. If you follow through, you're going to attach it. So you're making like a little tiny bodice with no anything below the armpit is basically what your facing is.
Mhm.
And the main purpose for that is to just finish the sleeves, the armholes, and the neck, right?
And it also gives the garment some body and some shape.
Okay.
And the neck and the arms are where you get the most stress on a garment. So it gives it extra, I mean, it keeps that arm size from stretching. It keeps the neckline from going really far out. If you stay stitched the garment, it'll all hold everything together.
That looks fairly simple then, cutting out those pieces, following the directions. And then I'm not putting sleeves on mine, but Elaine is. And Suzette,
Oh,
did you decide?
I've given up on that thought because it'll be so hard to change a whole sleeve.
So you're just gonna do the strap just as is, Elaine?
And wear a jacket over it.
Okay. All right, so we'll all be skipping sleeves, correct? If we're not making them, there's nothing we need to do?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then we could probably attach the facing.
Yeah, there you go.
And can we sew the side seams too? Is that too much?
No, should be enough.
Dara did, and hers turned out
Yeah.
nice.
It's pretty straightforward. Once you put your facing on, you have to turn it. You have to pull. You're turning it right side out, so you have to pull your from the front to the back. turn it inside out. For me, it was a little bit tricky because I had all this sleeve that had to go through this little piece then. But it's pretty easy.
Oh, yay. Okay. And then we'll really have a good idea how it fits after we get that done.
Mhm.
But at that point, there's nothing you can do if it doesn't fit, right? Or is there still hope?
It
Well, you
depends.
still have your seam allowance to work with.
True. Okay, so
Remember-
let's try and go through step 7 by next Tuesday.
One thing to remember is if you've made any adjustments on the bodice that's anywhere like within the facing, like if you added at the shoulders or whatever, you have to do the same thing for the
Yeah.
thing. I have not done that on occasion. I make all the adjustments and I cut out the facing and go, darn. So sometimes we have facings that are different colors or different, you know, a solid versus a print because I didn't have enough fabric.
Yeah.
I'll have to change the dart on the facing too.
No,
There's
the
no dart on
dart
the
is
face.
below the dart is below there. You don't have to worry about it. I'm just saying if you make any adjustments on the shoulder seams,
Like I will.
or if you added material so that you didn't, you know, so you had a less, you know, if you move the shoulder out any because you want to have more coverage, you'd have to do the same thing with the facing.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna be done by Friday.
Are you? Good.
Go, girl.
Well, I could. It depends on what all these other needy people around here want from me. What's that?
Sometimes I feel like every time I see a member of my family, they're just asking for something.
Yeah.
Because they know you'll do it.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's it?
Yeah.
You're dependable.
So
They take advantage of that.
They are, or I should?
they take advantage.
They
Yeah,
do.
they're taking advantage.
Because I
Yeah.
never learned how to say no. So I get that all the time.
You want me to
Practice.
teach you?
Do that. You might want to start doing one of those things where now that you're retired, you want to keep a calendar and you block out time that's, you know, and you schedule yourself in the sewing room. And so when somebody asks you for something, you say, you look at your calendar, you say, I'm sorry, I'm busy, but I can help you at, you know, another time. And then,
Well, that's been working for everyone except for my mom.
Oh.
Yeah.
When I block out time for her, yeah.
You'd think she has access to your calendar, and she knows.
I think she
Yes, you see it
knows.
too. Let me ask.
Like if she knew I was on this chat right now, she would have come up with something for me.
That's what one of the things I love about our chats. No one will dare barge in because they don't want to have to say hi. So we have a little digital family calendar so nobody gets mixed up, right, with what's
Oh.
going on. So if needed, I can put in extra conversations. Because they would be mortified if I said, oh, come say hi to the ladies.
Yeah.
Or have them make an appointment with you.
Oh, that would be that would be
And
a
then you
good-
say, time's up, you're gone.
It's not really that bad. It's just, I do her cleaning and things like that. So I'll say, okay, from now on, Mondays are your day. So
Oh,
I'm going to come every Monday and do whatever you need done. And then Monday she'll say, oh, no, not today. You know, but then like, a few days out, then I'll say, well, are you ready today? Well, you were supposed to come Monday and you didn't. That's what
oh,
she'll say to
Oh,
me.
does she
So,
forget?
no, she's just,
Oh.
I love her to death and I know she's in pain and all that, but I'm the only one that calls her every day and goes to see her, so I'm the one that gets it all the time, which
Yeah.
I understand where it's coming from, but
yeah.
it's a little aggravating sometimes.
Well, you can vent to us. We'll receive it. Yeah, very.
So she's doing things to get ready to have back surgery, and then she sits over there and she's changing all the appointments, and then she's complaining because it's not done yet, and I'm like, you. Like they want her to have a little physical therapy before her back surgery. And she called and complained, so finally they got it scheduled. And then she changed the appointment.
Oops.
She could have had it done already.
Oh.
Oh.
So you cannot tell her anything because then you're
Oh.
bossing her around.
What,
Mm.
how old is she, Suzette?
84.
84. Yeah, that's a lot of living. She's made a lot of decisions.
Yeah. Oh.
She's in, I mean, besides her back issue, she's in good shape. And she doesn't look like she's in her 80s. She's taking good care of herself.
Mhm.
So it's hard for me when I look at her to realize I'm talking to an 84-year-old person when she doesn't look nearly that age.
Oh. Does she have stenosis or what are they going?
Yes.
Yeah. I had that done. Yeah, it's a very long operation.
This is supposed to be minimally invasive with two
Oh,
short
oh.
incisions.
My incision goes from my bra top all the way to my butt,
Oh
the
my.
crack in my butt. Yeah.
Sounds like they've improved the process. That's good.
Pardon?
Sounds like they've improved the process since you had it done.
Yeah.
No, they still do it they would still do it the same way the doctor said, but I have degenerative discs and they're collapsing. So
She
I'm a
has
high
a couple of those too.
risk, so they don't want to do anything.
Mm.
So I cope. Some days I cry.
Well,
It's
that's-
painful. It's very
Oh, it
painful.
is. Every day.
Mm.
Wow.
Gotta have fun though.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of fun, Dara, I've been looking at your top the whole Zoom meeting and saying, where did she get that fabric?
This is gorgeous.
This, I think, came from Fabric Mart Fabrics.
Oh, I love
Oh,
So pretty.
I order, I also get, it's an ITY, and I also get ITYs from Michael Levine,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember what his website is actually called.
I like the
Yeah,
reflection in your glasses.
How about the pattern?
Oh, it's a new look.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember numbers, but I could dig it out.
And what
It's
does ITY stand for?
Something twisted
Interlock.
yarn. Interlock twisted yarn.
Yeah.
It's just the process of how they make it.
It's quality.
Yeah, this top I probably made about 5 years ago, and it doesn't get fuzzballed, and it doesn't stretch out, and it doesn't pick up other colors, and it doesn't lose its color.
Mm.
That's impressive.
So I sew with it a lot.
Is it a knit?
Yeah, it's a knit. It's basically polyester knit.
Okay.
And a lot of people think it'll be hot and sweaty because it's polyester, and it is not.
So when you're searching for it though, do you type in ITY or
Yes, if you were on anybody's fabric website, Mood or Fabric Mart or any of those places, ITY, if they have any in stock, you'll get it from that.
Yeah.
There's also another one called DTY. Don't know what the D stands for. It's a little bit thicker. I don't use that for t-shirts. I don't know.
Mm.
Gorgeous,
Beautiful.
gorgeous colors.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions about the Lisa dress? No.
Did anybody else look at the length of it? I'm not a very tall person, but I'm like just at the top of petite. I'm not like a 5 foot tall person. And I have taken off 5 3/4 inches from the lower hem.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Because
and
it
that
said-
gets it several inches below my knee still. It was
Oh, nice.
really long for me.
Long, yeah. But it said
Super
it was for someone 5'4", though, so I thought I would have to add a lot.
Well, yeah, and when I saw it was for 5'4", I thought, oh, but it's not knee length on me. And all the pictures, I looked at the Instagram pictures of other people who made it, and they were pretty much wearing it at their knee. And if I had done it the way the pattern was, it would definitely be like T-length, almost to my ankles. It was
Yeah.
super long.
And I want mine like mid calf. Do you think that will look okay with it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think, not for me, but for someone else, it would be great.
If you're
Okay.
taller, you can do it.
Yeah, if you can pull it off
yeah.
if you're taller, I'm sure.
How about you, Suzette? Do you know what kind of length you want on yours?
I never even considered the length. I'm 5'6". So
So
How about your other dresses? What feels comfortable to you for length?
I wear them all different lengths,
Do you?
Hmm.
but maybe for summer I might want it shorter.
Hmm.
yeah, to put it, so just measure it, measure the pattern and then measure a dress that you think is the length you'd want it to be, and then just see, how close they are and how much you have to take off.
Hmm. My length is going to be longer in the back than in the front to adjust for the adjustments.
Well, actually, Elaine, if you get that back part done correctly, you might, and get your waist set, you might actually be able to go with a regular skirt. Because all your length, your extra length should be in that, your back seam, shouldn't it?
Oh. Well, see, I bend over. I have that,
Oh,
like
yep,
this is your spine, this is me.
yep.
I see everything on the ground very good.
We put you in charge of lost items on the ground, huh?
Oh, I can find all your pins. If you drop your pins.
Okay, that makes sense. Mhm.
Are you sewing anything, Kim?
No, not yet. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this orange fabric.
Where's the orange? Oh, on that you were draping.
Yeah,
No inspiration yet.
I can't figure out what pattern I want to use. I did print out the that tote bag last night. I finally printed that thing out.
Oh,
Oh, so you're gonna try it.
Yep.
Oh, this is her first ever.
Yeah. Not a really crafty person, but
But she has hundreds of patterns.
Yep. don't
So-
do crafts.
I spent last night figuring out what I'm going to put in my tote, and I did a diagram of how it's going to come out.
oh,
Really
Nice.
nice. Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
nice.
And then I did an exploded view so I could figure out which layer I got to sew what to first.
Wow.
Wow.
My God.
Impressive.
Talented.
No, I just kind of have gotten ahead of myself in the past. I was decided not this time. I'm going to take it systematically.
Yes, because this is our slow sew.
Yes.
Lots of time to finish it.
I was
I want-
studying it last night a whole bunch, and my husband goes, "You've been looking at that a long time." I said, "Yes, because I don't want to forget anything."
So fun. I want to add like pages to mine so I can have multiple functions in the same bag.
Yep.
How does it close? Does it just open?
Yeah, it just folds up, and in fact, the article did not show any closure, so I'm going to add
No.
either a button and a loop, a button on one side and a loop on the other, so I can button it closed. Or I was actually thinking about maybe doing some on the sides in case I put something in it, after it's closed up, and I don't want it sliding out. So I that's the part I haven't, and I do have to do the buttons, I think, fairly early on, because I want to sew them on to the interfacing and the thing, and then put the lining on so you don't see the button sewn all the way through. I do have to cut.
Have you test fit your things that you want to go in there, your pencils, your markers, whatever it is?
Yeah, the list that I wrote, I measured everything, and then so mine is going to be larger than their recommended size. I took the pad of paper I want to carry, because this is for art supplies this time, not for my sewing supplies. So I put the pad down. That was my, limiter, and then I added around that so that the pad would fit in it, and then everything else fit within that footprint.
Do you think it will be too hard for us to figure out how to do a double zip closure?
I was playing with that idea too. And so I was thinking, I've got some, some of those larger zippers, like I got a 36, I think mine would take a 36-inch zipper. because I think it's 34 inches all the way around, and I wanted a little bit extra so I could lay it flat. So you could probably tuck it up underneath that binding, but
Mhm.
that would be, that's one of my things I'm kind of playing with possibly.
If it were a separating zipper, that would give you lots of freedom.
Yeah, well, that's why I've got like a 36-inch separating zipper.
Yeah,
So that's
I
one
may
idea.
try that as
Mhm.
well, so everything doesn't flop
Can't you
out.
just add like a flange about the width of your zipper tape? And then, your seam allowance
Add a
and
what?
a flange.
Suzette is the queen of flanges. She has got.
What is a flange?
It's an extra bit of fabric, like almost kind of like a flap.
I'm not laughing at you, Kim. I'm just
Sorry.
glad somebody's frustrated like me.
Oh no, she's happy
Think
with
of-
her
Think
frustration.
of a pillow and it has like an inch or two around it. It's a flange.
Do you have your bag there, Suzette, with your flange on it?
I do.
Oh,
I'm just trying to figure out what kind of batting do you use?
This is like flange.
Just an extra bit of fabric that you can put in so that the zipper sits in that space.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The zipper's not gonna be wide enough. If I just put the zipper in, it's not gonna be wide enough for me to close it up with anything in.
oh, the width, yeah.
So I would just need like
How
a,
about if you didn't put the binding and then put the zipper and be able to turn it right side out with an opening left somewhere like we do the bag sometimes?
Yeah, you could probably
because
flip
it's,
it.
because it's a separating zipper, you could actually sew it with it inside out and then just open up the zipper and turn it, because it's not gonna be, not like a bag where you have to kind of reach in and pull the whole thing through. It's just, you would just unzip it.
Yeah, I'll have to find, Amy Butler had a pattern book that had that process modeled in it for something similar, and I'll have to see if I can find a picture of that to share with you all.
Mhm.
But it just kind of all lays nice and flat inside of there, the zipper, while you're sewing it, and then opens up.
Oh,
Sounds good. Look at Kim. I don't
Okay.
know.
I love it.
Kim, I'm not making fun of you. I hope you don't think it. I hope you don't think it.
No. I still ain't figured out what kind of batting to use.
Oh yeah, you did ask that question.
So I think, but from what they've got, they're saying cotton batting, but if you've got polyester batting, that's, I don't know how
mean-
I don't do a lot of quilting, but just like a half inch and a quarter inch batting. I don't know.
Is that
I
that
like-
fuzzy stuff? Is that fuzzy stuff you see?
Yeah,
Or is
I
that
like
that flat stuff?
ornament natural, Kim, for these kind of.
Cotton.
I don't know.
Look at
I don't
ornament
even go
now.
in the area where batting is sold in the fabric store, okay? I don't even go in that area.
The cotton stuff is more of a natural color, and the polyester stuff is often bright white because they've produced it in a factory.
Okay.
I would avoid the polyester unless it says on the package that it's for the purpose you want it for, because the polyesters come in, there's just so many varieties. You can't just necessarily interchange one for the other, and you don't want to be disappointed. A lot of the polyesters do this thing that's called
Okay.
bearding, where the little fibers come through. And
oak.
so once you've made all the effort to make this great bag, you don't want to not carry it around because you use junky polyester batting.
And if you want
Okay.
to wash.
This is
But Suzette's
cotton
got-
batting.
Okay. Okay.
So, and then
Cotton's
I
more
could
consistent.
very
and-
thick.
eight
Okay.
too.
And then there's foam.
Yeah, that would be nice for this as well.
That could work too.
I don't know. What do you think of for your first bag? Foam seems like a degree of difficulty over and above
Yep.
batting to me.
Yes. Agree.
Because if you don't get it just right, you can.
Take it out.
It's not. Batting seems more forgiving for
Right.
a new sewer. I don't know.
would-
That's just my experience. Foam seems a little bit trickier to get it perfect, and batting just
Right.
kind of squishes.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
don't
true.
have the pattern in front of me. What does it call for, Kim?
That-
Batting. cotton batting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And they do cotton batting and a heavyweight into a stabilizer. So the idea is the stabilizer gives you the shape and the cotton batting gives you a little bit of cushion. The
Mhm.
foam would do kind of the same thing, but when their first directions is that you quilt the,
I'm not doing that.
yeah, no.
I'm not doing all that.
And I'm probably going to do this whole cloth, so I'm not sure I'm going to do any quilting either. And that would be hard to do with the foam. So, you know, it's different application. If you're doing whole cloth, and because you basically assemble all the layers and then you put the bias binding around the outside edge.
You finish.
You don't have to turn this thing, so it's not as problematic as it might be with the foam. But I still think I'm going to go with the batting and the heavyweight stabilizer.
Andrea, when I watched your videos on your Sew Spire, you use a nice thin batting of cotton.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
warm and natural the best.
Yeah.
Everything else gets me sneezing like crazy.
Oh, uh-huh.
It does cost a little more, I think, than the others, but it's so nice to cut and sew with.
It's
Okay.
worth it to spend a little extra when to use the right thing. You just, first of all, when you run into trouble, you know it's not because you're using the wrong thing.
Right. It's not you.
And second of all, someone's already thought this through. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
save the improvising for when you have your skills better and you know how to work around some problems.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I'm going to try to learn to do the French braid quilt. So mine will be done around Christmas.
Oh, no.
I saw, after Elaine mentioned that, I went on and looked for examples. And what this one is actually a herringbone.
Oh, is it?
Yep. But it's a herringbone where they've done uneven stripes. And so that's why it looks different. So what they were suggesting for the French braid is almost like a log cabin that you just do in a line.
Yeah, you're right.
This was, you just put strips together and then
Herringbone.
cut it on the diagonal and then use those strips, sew those together. So, so just Google, do YouTube herringbone quilt, and I came, Mr. Domestic had a very good
Oh, I
video.
love him. Okay, super fun. All right, well, hopefully I have something to show you on Friday. Are you going to do this one, Suzette? Or you got to sit it out?
No,
Yeah?
I'm gonna do it.
Your husband is going to say, they have taken my wife.
He does not even know if I'm home or not.
He's doing so many projects. This is truly the most projects I've ever had in the works at one time ever.
Me too.
Oh,
Fun.
I usually I finish one before I start something else. So this
Yeah,
is-
normally I do too, so I'm kind of breaking a rule. Kim doesn't have anything going, so she's not breaking any rules yet.
Not yet.
that'll give you a chance to toggle back and forth between something you feel comfortable with and something to challenge yourself with. You just
Which
kinda-
is interesting because normally I just stay in my comfort zone. So for me, this dress is so fun. It
I'm
probably-
hoping my dress comes out good because I would like to make several.
Me too, Suzette. And how will it not come out good though? Because you guys can help, right? If she gets stuck.
Right. We
Because
just
my
gotta figure out that
my darts are all messed up. No, I'm just kidding.
your darts are on the way to being perfect.
Well, at least now I don't have to stress over the size, so
Right.
I can
True.
concentrate on everything else now.
Yep.
And remember, once you get this figured out, then the next one you make, you already know all of this.
Yeah.
So this is just one time.
Yeah. When I find the easiest way to improve your sewing skills is to make the same garment over and over and over, because
That is true.
you're a lot of people's fear and hesitation is they don't know how it's going to come out. Once you've got something, you know, like you might finish this dress and still not be happy with those darts, but the next time you make it, you can change them.
Mhm.
You know, so I have some patterns that I have one particular t-shirt pattern that I have made. Last time I counted, I was up to like 37 times.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
Made the same t-shirt. And I'm so familiar, I can make it in like an hour and a half. It's easier to make a new t-shirt than it is to go to the store and shop for a t-shirt.
Oh, fun. Can you share your pattern?
That one is also a new look. It's just a very simple t-shirt with a sleeve. And I've learned how to adjust the width of the sleeve. I now have like variations on the hem and the neck, and it's the repetition. Just like if you were going to make a pie, the first one might not be so pretty, and the second one might not be so pretty, but by the time you've made about 20 pies, you can almost do it with your eyes closed. So things improve with repetition.
Yes.
well, a lot of it's different terminology too than just making bags.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
why this group is so nice, because if we were just on our own, the best we could do is Google it, but we still might not understand what exactly they were talking about.
And sometimes
Like when you
don't know
tried
what-
yours on, their eye was so keen. No, it's the darts. I wouldn't have known that.
Me neither. That's why I waited to do anything else.
Awesome. And then, Dara, just so you can plan too a little for the future, Kim had a wonderful idea that we, in around September, we sew a pattern that is similar but not the same. So it would either be a cape, a poncho, or a Elaine, what's it?
Ruana?
Ruana.
Does that sound fun to you? Are you in a warm place or do you have winter?
I'm in North Carolina, so we have winter.
Oh,
Did you
So
get
mild
anything
winter.
from the storm?
We just, they said we had 4 inches of rain last night. I slept through it all, so it didn't seem like anything loud or scary. So this was, in terms of hurricanes for my part of North Carolina, this was nothing. This
Yeah.
was a big old rainstorm for us, so
oh.
that was good.
So you're near the coast?
No, I'm near Raleigh, and we've had hurricanes before where the power was out for 2 weeks and the roads were all closed because the trees were down and
Oh.
the sewage treatment plants flooded, you know, like just like coastal mess. We get that all the way up here sometimes.
Mm.
But back to your question about sewing another project, a cape, a poncho, or a
Ruana.
what's a Ruana?
It's kind of like a poncho, really. That's really what it is.
But it has
Yeah,
the
like a
square
rectangle.
corners.
And a
Can you
neckline.
picture that? Like I would think of it like the first term that comes to my mind was to be the blanket jackets. That's what I would have
Hmm.
called it.
Well, it has a back and then it has the front comes forward, kind of like as a flap. And then you can drape it around your neck or throw it over your shoulder.
Would that orange fabric work for that, Kim?
Woohoo.
No. No, this is no.
Is that
Sheer,
you how
the
to
sheer
say
might,
that?
the sheer fabric might work for it. Not the other one, because the other one is more of a. I'm going to make more of a it's going to be some kind of a dress.
Okay.
I just can't figure out which dress.
Okay.
Well, it sounds interesting. I wouldn't ever wear one of those articles for myself, but I could maybe make one for someone else. So I'm thinking like, my mom might wear one. I don't know if she would wear that or not. It might be too complicated now that she's getting older.
I don't know, the poncho idea for, if my mom would have been a great idea. I could just plunk it over her head because at one point she couldn't put a coat on with her arms. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the
I've
cape.
made capes before, and it's not really my style.
Okay.
they just wind up hanging in the closet. So
I kind of think the taller you are, the ponchos and capes look more attractive. Because they bring you down if you're short.
maybe
If you're
that's it.
tall, get a nice slim look to you then.
When I make a lot of jackets, so I already have my next project. I keep picking this up and putting it down because normally I would sew a dress like this in less than a day. I'm a fast sewer. I don't agonize over instructions I don't understand. I just forge ahead and maybe ruin it. So I think I might drag out my jacket that I have in my head and start working on that.
Dara,
I'm
have you ever made a swing jacket?
I have made a swing jacket.
I
and
like those.
I like the sewing them is fun and I like the idea of it, but at my height and adding that
Oh,
volume at the wrong place on
Place.
my figure,
Okay.
I don't wear them.
I have a jacket pattern that was been looking at for quite a while. It does have sleeves, but then the front of it has that kind of waterfall effect. So I might sew that along with you if you guys are going to do the poncho.
Fun. Do you know that pattern number so we can look at that too, Casey?
I could look for it. I don't have the number handy.
Yeah. That would be fun, yeah. And that's why it's similar but not the same. So
And it's something
And
I would
we're
wear
hoping-
versus, ponchos and things like that. If it's cold, I need to be fully encased. I'm not one of these who can go out in a poncho and feel, if there's a draft up underneath it, I'm not happy. So, and if it's warm enough for there not to be a draft, I'm not wearing anything. So, I'm not wearing a coat. So,
Okay. All right. Well, that will be September, so you still have some time.
Yep.
We're going to finish the Lisa dress and get a good start on the, they call it a sewing tote, but we're going to use it for all different kinds of things. It sounds like art and all kinds of fun stuff. And then Suzette, did you tell me, are you going to sew that with us? You said yes. Okay. And Kim is venturing out. And then Dara, you'll have to look at it and see if it interests you at all. Elaine, are you going to make it or are you just going to watch in on that one?
Oh, a poncho with a hole in the middle and it just hangs. And it'll fit.
How about the kind of craft sewy tote? Are you going to make that or just watch?
Depends how far I get on the dress.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. So the next time we talk here, I guess, is Friday, right? No. Yeah. Friday? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll see you all for show and tell, sew and tell on Friday. All right. Have fun. Have a good week. Good luck with your sewing.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.